Hi guys, I'm Julian Hall from Ultra Education, and I'm here today at Brick Live at Excel in London, and we're here supporting Callum Daniel and his company iCodeRobots. And I'm here today with Andy Smith, who's one of the directors of Mindplay, who put them together. Hello Andy Smith, how you doing?
Good to meet you.
Yeah, good to see you, good to see you. So, Andy, tell me about Brick Live.
So Brick Live is essentially a show that's for families but also AFOLs, so people that are passionate about Lego and all that can be done with the product. And so really Brick Live is fundamentally a celebration of anyone who either is passionate about Lego or a builder themselves, and really that's everything that you see here today.
And you've described Callum Daniel in just a few sentences. He's really passionate, so he's one of our 8-year-old entrepreneurs. He's really passionate about Lego and robotics, and you know, he came along today, just did a session on stage where he got about 6 kids, built some Lego robots, they did a race, and then he did a giveaway at the end. But when I asked him, you know, what's the best thing about running your own company, he said his favourite thing is inspiring other kids about the possibilities of what they can do. And I think you've done an amazing job of inspiring kids, because they love Lego, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, what kind of brought you to this point where you thought, right, Brick Live is something that we should be doing? Because I imagine you've done loads of events in the past.
Yeah.
How did it get to Brick Live?
I suppose the honest answer is life. I've done a lot of events, and I've got a 3-year-old and another one on the way. And I went to Brick Live as a punter / investor a year ago. And that was really where it started for me, was just seeing my little girl have a good time.
Wow.
And actually, a lot of the events I've run, whether it's been Festival of Speed or an England rugby match or cricket or football, that was kind of my passion.
Yeah.
And actually, just seeing my little girl have a good time, but actually, I suppose being able to do that for a job and seeing families today feeling how I felt, really that was what was the trigger point for the idea, and to talk about the guy who I suppose came up with the initial inception.
Yeah.
And really this is our first iteration of what will be a long process of as we evolve Brick Live. But really what matters, and the beauty for me is I've got the target audience at home, and actually I can say, would this be cool, would this not be cool? And being, I suppose, young enough myself, I suppose I kind of know what I want to see from it, and that's really how it came about.
It's funny you mentioned your little girl, because the company that we run, which teaches kids entrepreneurship, was also inspired by my little girl, because she just seemed to copy what I was doing as an entrepreneur, but she was having fun with it at the same time, and she would teach her cousins and her friends, and that's kind of what inspired us to do what we do as well. So I guess, being that, I mean, my 6-year-old, when he went to Callum's classes, his thing was that robotics helps to bring Lego to life.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see it that way, but from a 6-7-year-old's perspective, I think that's amazing. And I suppose, we all grew up using Lego, but I guess Lego's kind of come into another dimension, hasn't it?
Yes.
And what do you think was the turning point? What do you think kind of gave it this new lease of life?
I think with that, we're just about a generation away from what I'd call kind of the next iteration of entrepreneurs. So the other show we do, which older audience but also families, is about game shows and kind of social media and interaction. And I think certainly my child at a young age, as much as I try and control it, is on things like YouTube.
Yeah.
And actually, she has a far greater understanding than I ever would have at 3 or 4 years old. And whilst it's, as a parent, I need to control that, actually, it harnesses something in kids that they can see the art of the possible, whereas growing up, I didn't have that platform to look at other people doing things. So there's a famous YouTube channel called Toys and Me, which is a young girl and her family. And you can look at that one of two ways. You can look at that as a family that's commercialised everyday life, or you could just look at that as a story of everyday life. All they're doing is filming what my family do.
Yeah.
And actually, I quite like the fact that you can see that the child's still having fun. The child is not being pushed down a certain road. And actually, there's the beauty of something like Brick Live, and the beauty of kind of your child coming and seeing what was done on stage. There's an innocence to it all. And I think as you get older, the innocence is lost slightly. And I think really what Brick Live does, and people like yourselves, you capture that innocence at a young age. And if you can just give them a healthy prod along the way in a direction that might be useful to them, it's really, for me, it's about embracing their passion. Because when I grew up, it was, I've got to go to school, I've got to have this degree, and I've got to do that, and that's what's going to be what I do. Certainly in the company that I'm running, I have a bunch of people that did not set out on a course of a degree, a this and a that. I basically employ almost unqualified people that are talented and passionate, and all they've done is follow their passion. And actually, I think if you do that, for children, it's a really powerful message to learn young, that if you follow what you love and dream about, it's far easier to work hard than something that you just get paid at the end of the day from. And I think your Daniel that you saw on the stage, who knows what he'll do in years to come, but he's technically gifted. And if he carries on down that route, I'm pretty confident in suggesting he's going to be a very successful guy as he gets older. And really, if we can just be one little part of that journey of just giving people a platform to enjoy themselves, I'm kind of happy with what we're doing.
You should go into motivational speaking. That was really inspirational. I love what you just said about the art of the possible.
Yeah.
I think you captured it. I think you captured it there. And I suppose whether it's what we do, whether it's what you do, whether it's what organisations like us do, I think that's what's important. Capturing the art of the possible in the minds of children, so that when they do grow up, they can, choose a career for themselves, a job, a business that they love doing, that they're passionate about. Yeah. And I suppose then, if they're passionate about it, it will show them what they do. Everyone else will just have a great time enjoying the fruits of their labour. And I think we all win.
Yeah, and I think for me, where it comes from, I don't normally share this, but fundamentally, people that I care about will somehow watch this.
Yeah.
I was in hospital for about 18 months on and off when I was 18, so I quit university. And actually, finding a way back into employment, or finding a way into employment for the first time, when you've been out of work, when you haven't got experience and you haven't given opportunities, to kind of be where I am at 31, I'm under no illusions that it wasn't because someone gave me a platform and an opportunity. So actually, the big thing for me is, of course, people pay us tickets to come here, but really for me, iteration 2, 3, 4 and 5 is, I'd love there to be things like a junior careers fair. I'd love there to be kind of talks from people that are experts, that, as I said, I don't want to lose the innocence of how a child's mind works, but if they can see that actually there's not a reason to grow up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If I can just carry on in this moment loving what I'm doing, and I still love it at 16 and 18, it's probably going to lead you down a path of something that you believe in, like these guys here now, filming and taking pictures.
Yeah.
I could probably take a solid guess that he loves what he's doing.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what I found to be the key. If you're the guy that kind of goes, oh, what did I do? It's probably because you've deviated from the path of things you were passionate about. And really, that's kind of, I really only like doing events around things that I can get passionate about. And I've done events before that are waste management show, and it's hard to buy into it, if I'm honest.
There's a show for waste management, I guess?
There's plumbing, there's all sorts. So shows like this where you can kind of relate to, I think really that's what it's all about for me.
Good. Andy,
good to meet you.
Thanks for your time, mate. Congrats once again.
Thank you.
Brick Live. It's amazing. When my little boy walked in, he was like, Dad, it was a surprise. It's like, Dad, this is amazing. He just kind of ran off, So when you've got that kind of effect on a 6-year-old, you've done an amazing job. So thanks again for your time.
No
Cheers.
problem.
All right.